The first thing they found was something called cherishing. And if you think about things you have around your house, like a photo album, or maybe letters from a loved one, or things on the refrigerator from your kids, human beings, according to Hewlett-Packard, just like to hold on to things that are tangible because they're perceived as more valued. If you think about people who hoard things, people with a lot of stuff in their house, they'll say things like, well, I'm trying to keep in touch with the past. I'm trying to hold on to the past. Connecting is a huge theme. Even the verbiage, even the wording that we use as human beings to talk about staying connected has to do with this idea of touch. And so Hewlett-Packard's surveys found that tangible to many people just equals more highly valued. Now, the second thing they found was something surrounding the dynamic of documentation. This is a pretty logical one. If you've ever bought a car, if you've ever graduated from anything, or maybe you bought a house, something that involves large financial transactions or rite of passage usually involves something tangible like a certificate or a contract. You fill things out in triplicate, you hand them to somebody else. This has to do with the notion that to human beings, hard copy really equals official. And if you think about it, many sales teams, customer service teams, even if they're corresponding in email, they're holding on to those emails, in many cases printing them out, putting them as a customer file, just to have tangible evidence of a conversation that took place. So again, according to Hewlett-Packard's research, to human beings, hard copy just equals more official. Now, the third thing that they found I think is pretty intriguing, and it's called comprehension. There have been many studies done by lots of folks other than Hewlett-Packard. These include Edgar Dale, the NTL, Institute of Applied Behavioral Research, Boston University, where they found that 3/4 of all adult learners are experiential learners. What does that mean? It means they're just simply more engaged when multiple senses are engaged in the learning or retention process. So if you think about this in your college experience, your high school and grade school experience, teachers model a lot of their teaching abilities on these types of research projects. If they had you learning a new concept, they'd had you go up to the chalkboard. Maybe they'd have you sit down and discuss it in a group. They'd have you take notes. They'd have you discuss it aloud. Doing things that would engage multiple senses. And that's because teachers know that most human beings are experiential learners. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean that emails and tweets and text messages don't capture any attention? No. It just means that they tend to be a little bit more fleeting when you're working with an experiential learner. So to an experiential learner, when they have to prove something, when they have to memorize something, when they're trying to retain information, they just like to be engaged on multiple levels. And materials that do this tend to engage them and interest them more. And for that reason, according to Hewlett-Packard's research, that's one of the reasons why tangible materials are still kind of popular, still kind of effective, depending on your audience.